Hey Brent, it's Joanna Johnson. Can you hear me?
Good. You were funny. You were in the front row. You got up and
I'm
sat
going in and out.
back. That was so funny.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't think mine is working right. Is
Yeah,
it?
we can hear you perfectly. Far away.
Okay. So this is probably an unusual question, but I have a friend who's a broker, been a long time broker. He's more of an investor broker, but he also does buyer broker rep. And he's in a small town where his average sales price that he works on is like, oh my gosh, ridiculously low, like 35, 40,000, because he's selling a lot of investment properties. Okay.
Okay.
Um, he liked the model. He was concerned about two things. One, actually overcapping because his price is so low, and he's an independent broker right now on his own. But
Right.
the next item was because he's more of a wholesaler guy and more of a investor guy. Would this actually make sense for him? And he feels like a lot of realtors don't like him because he's one of those discount guys. So that's where we left it. He likes the model, but I just wanted to get your feedback on that. What do you think? What do you think? Is he still a good candidate?
So when he says he's a discount buy, is he offering full commission in the MLS, or is he offering a less than full commission in the
He
MLS?
usually does. When he's a buyer's agent, he'll oftentimes represent something that's off market, and he'll just do it for a flat fee that's not real big,
Okay, so
$1,000 like
agents only dislike agents who offer less than 2.5% or 3% in the MLS. So the question you want to ask him: are you offering 1%, 1.5%? Because that is extremely negative and will create a big backlash, and
that.
it's a reason for us not to want him, because that will stain us.
I agree.
So, do you know what he offers in the MLS on his properties?
He actually doesn't really work with sellers. He only works with buyers. So all of his buyer reps, he just negotiates for the amount that he wants, whatever that is. And he's not really
Right.
with his properties on MLS. So
So I don't get why agents wouldn't like him. So, your
that's his
first
concern.
biggest mistake, your biggest mistake you've made so far is that you and I haven't spoken to him.
Mhm.
You're trying to sponsor him, and I know you and I love you, but you're new and you don't know what you're doing. And so, you and I should be talking to him, because I know exactly how to parse this out and how to help him.
Okay.
So that's the first thing we need to do, is you and me need to talk to him later today or tomorrow. So set up a call. Say, hey, I'd love for you to spend 5 minutes on the phone with my coach, my mentor. And good people will say, sure, yeah. And say, Brent's really going to be able to help you understand some of this. And if he won't, I had people who told me no, and I didn't sponsor them, and I moved on. They self-selected out. But you can't do what you haven't seen.
Right.
And so if you're not watching me or somebody else follow up, I know you got Kevin Cooper, Joey Satriano, you get some great people there, Joanna, and that can help you. Does that make sense? But I would love to talk to this guy with you.
Very good. Thank you. I'll set that up.
Okay, awesome. Okay, who's next? Excuse me. Good question. Come on, be brave. Don't be shy.
Brent, you're a super trooper for being here, as sick as a dog. I appreciate it.
No problem. Is that Sammy?
It is the one and only. How are you, sir? Besides the obvious.
I'm doing awesome.
I'm sorry to hear you're sick, man.
It's fine, man. I'm actually feel great. I just sound terrible.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good then. That's a good thing.
Yep.
Hey, so I'm talking to an independent brokerage. We've got about
By the way, Sam. Oh, crud. Are you guys still there? I hit the wrong button on the computer. I just lost my screen, but I'll keep going like everything's fine. So this is so funny. You can hear me though?
Yes.
Yeah, I can no longer see anything. I'm on Stroop's computer, but I'll just talk. But well, that's going to be a problem. I was getting everyone type their questions in the bar. So as Sam and I are talking, if you have a question, just type it in the chat bar, so I don't have to go, who's next, and sound like an idiot. I would love your questions typed in the chat bar. Go ahead, Sam. No problem. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just wondering. I'm talking to an independent broker where he's at up here. He has about 65 agents or so. And, I've never approached one. I don't want to mess it up. What is a good way to approach an independent broker like this and, to handle that? I know it's kind of general, but I think you get what I'm
So
saying.
what's the best way to approach
Yeah,
a,
he said, why should I join you guys? What's the value of that? Of course, I think E&O and the risk.
yeah,
He doesn't have to take risk like he does, but
right. Well, you could say my partner had 18 agents, a third of what you have, and now he has 7,000. So, you're on an island of 65, and he did that in 3 years. So it's totally like it's the big deal in real estate. So what I'd like you to do is to watch a short web. I want us to come over and talk to you and come by your office early and talk to you, and then watch the modelexplain.com with him. Has he seen that yet?
he is not. He's like, oh, I gotta watch no damn video, basically. So
Yeah, well, he's self-selecting out. Well, and first of all, you don't want to. Is he in your market?
yes.
Is he in your market? Okay. So did you ask him to watch the video?
Yeah, I did. I told him I'd love to have
Okay.
his opinion on
So
it.
that was your first mistake. You say, hey, I want to come meet you at your office or mine, have a cup of coffee and talk. At that point, you show the video. So there you go. That's what this all gets down to. Now sometimes they're like, no, don't you ask me? We'll role play. Say, Brent, do you have some information you can email me?
Brent, do you have some info I can email you? You can email
No,
me?
nope. But I want to have a cup of coffee with you and just talk for 5-10 minutes. When's the time I can pop by your office, or you can come by mine later this week? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What's a day for you? You're not too busy. See how I took control of the conversation and threw the question back to him, well, say, well, I really need to see something first before we meet, right?
Yeah, I'd really like to see some first, Brent, before I spend any time.
Now at that part, I'd take a shot at it. I go, well, I have a short, brilliant webinar you can peek at. It would blow your socks off. I'd love your opinion on it. Tell me you're too dang busy and have time to watch the dumb video. Say that.
Too dang busy to watch the dang video, Brent.
Awesome. Well, hey, Billy Bob Thornton, you have a great life. Thank you. And I guess we have nothing to talk about then. So I can't help you if you won't. He's self-selecting out. His energy's bad. Can everyone feel the bad energy?
Yep.
You were being him, but you don't want to attract an a-hole into your business, because he will bitch, moan, and complain the whole time, and then he will attract his friends, and birds of a feather flock together. Then you'll have the group that complains, moans, groans, why isn't EXP doing that? Why isn't EXP doing this? And you're not doing enough. And it's like those clients we take when we know we shouldn't take them. So just pass on him. He's not been humbled enough. His day will come. Stay in touch. But it could be he's just a real negative person who's caustic, and we don't want him. You don't want him. Okay.
Very, very true. Thank you, sir. You're right. Appreciate it.
So I'm reading through what I see here. Do you follow up with agents that were possibly interested, but then said no? Great question. Again, please ask questions in the chat or raise your hand. But yes and no. I mean, I don't put them in a database. I don't drip on them. I follow up by inviting them to breakfast or lunch or dinner or coffee, and then I try to help them. I'll example. I got Brent Shields in the front row. So Brent, can you unmute your mic? Brent talking to Brent. Are you there, Brent? He may be. He's got a question bulb on, so he may have a problem with his mic. Your mic. He's a new EXP agent. Left-hand corner, Brent. You got a mic. It's got a red slash across it. You got to click it to unmute that mic. Sounds like I don't think he can do that. All right. Who knows? All right, Brent, you're off the hook. So I'll do Rebecca. Rebecca, can you unmute your mic? Hello, Rebecca. All right. How about, well, heck, Sam, I'll do you. Are you there, Sam? Sammy? Or can I just not hear now?
We already talked. If you're talking to
I'm
Sam.
talking to you, Sam. I'm role playing, right?
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Well, I was,
I'm
okay.
gonna role play some more.
Okay, great. I'll be here for you.
All right, good. So the question is, when following up with people, how do I follow up? And this is how I'd follow up. Sam showed some initial interest in EXP last summer. It's now February. And I call him up. I go, Sam, how you doing, man? You still killing it at Remax? And you say, what do you say?
I'm doing pretty well. Pretty happy over here. How are you, Brent?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm doing awesome. Hey, I just attended a social media workshop by Grant Cardone in Las Vegas. I paid thousands of dollars to join a particular trainer that, no joke, best trainer I've ever seen in my life, times 10. Nothing even compares. It is mind blowing. And remember how I told you didn't have to be an EXP to be my friend and you were going to pass and stay at Remax? Remember when I told you that last summer?
Yes, I did, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, of course, man. We're buddies. Let's go to coffee. I want to share with you what I learned at Grant Cardone. It is going to change my life. I paid thousands of dollars to join this. I'm going to share it with you for free. And you are going to be blown away. You won't be impressed. It'll blow the shoes off your feet. So are you up for coffee sometime in the next week or two? I'm real casual about it, next week or two. What would you probably say to me?
I would say yes. I would say I'd be totally interested to hear what you
Good. Let's have coffee. And then ask me about EXP right now. So I've just been nice to you. Now, so how's EXP going?
So how's EXP going for you? You still there?
It's going, yeah, I'm still there. It's going awesome. But hey, I don't want to talk about EXP. But what I do want to do is help you. So EXP is not really on the table for discussion, but I'm going to turn you on to this guy and what he's doing. And I'm telling you, it's going to be the best day of your real estate life. So what you want to meet next week, the week after? What are you thinking? I'm casual about it. I'm just helping you. I'm like, well, how about tomorrow? I'm like, sure, buddy. And then I make it all about Sam. I make it all about his goals and dreams. I share with him all the data, my information, my workbook. I teach him how to get plugged in and I bring value to him. More value than his sales manager at Remax. More value than his broker at Coldwell Banker. And that is how I sponsor people and follow up with people. I refuse to take the bait and talk about EXP. Don't do it. They have to beg me. And then eventually I go, man, you really want to know? Here's what's happening. Boom, boom, boom. Now, because I don't wait for people, I don't talk to 30 people, go, well, only got 3. I talk to, hundreds. And I find the people that are looking, and it's wonderful. What feels gross is following up people who don't want to be followed up with. Well, I feel like I'm pushing them. Listen to me. You are. Stop it. Go help them. Don't push them. Help them. Are you taking notes right now? Don't push people. Help people. Well, there's nothing happening where I am. Set up a top producer panel. Invite the top Remax agent, the top Coldwell Banker agent, the top Century 21 agent, the top Keller Williams agent, maybe the top independent. You set it up and they don't know. Say, hey, I'm doing a top producer panel. You want to be on my panel? Nobody says no to that stuff. And pick 2 or 3 ballers in your town. You interview them, you bring value. It's going to open the door for conversation. And at that panel, do not mention EXP. There's no need to mention it. Even if someone brings it up, hey, EXP is amazing, but that's not here we're talking about. We're here to talk about this. Boom, boom, boom. And so there's ways for you, every one of you, to do stuff to add value. If you do it, but you tell yourself, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, I don't have an experience, they'll say no. You're wrong. They'll say yes. So, Sam, thank you for being my person there
No
and
problem.
helping me out. All right. And then is that Drew standing over there, or who has a question? I can't tell. I can't see that good. Dan, did you have a question? I see a light bulb over your head. Or does that mean you're thinking?
I have a question. Actually, I was just typing it. Yeah, so Brent, I have 4 events scheduled this year: Mexico, NAEA, Bahamas, and 2020 leadership. Do I
Right.
really, should I go to shareholders, just figure out how to do 5? Do I replace one?
Okay, so here's my advice to you. I love Dan's question. Dan, I just kissed you in front of 40-something people.
That's all right. It's the second time.
I love lots of kisses. I think I just made out with you for that question. That's getting really weird considering I'm from California. Now, anyways, so I love the question. Give you a big fat kiss. So here's the deal. If you can afford to go to shareholders in Orlando, you should. If you're on the East Coast, you'd be crazy not to. Let me explain why. I cannot tell you the number of people that saw a webinar 1 week before a major event, like an EXP Connor shareholders, and then they got invited and they showed up. I wasn't overly impressed with EXP, with EXP in San Antonio at their annual convention. I was impressed with Glenn Stanford when I met him personally. I was impressed with Jason Guessing when I met in person. I was impressed with my sponsor, Sheila Fairjean, who I'd never met in person, although she says we have, but I don't remember her. I was impressed with her. I was impressed with other brokers. I met other agents. And so you have the ability to get a bounce off shareholders in Orlando. Now, if you live in the West Coast and you can't afford it, you should not go. Again, can you afford it? And then and you should go. Now in May, Dan, you've sponsored more than 10, right? You've sponsored how many total?
Yeah, 26.
20. People are so funny. How many have you sponsored? They go, well, 26, but
26.
21. I didn't ask you how many quit. Just so for everybody in the audience, when I asked how many you sponsored, it's like everyone's Catholic and they have to go and Father, forgive me, I have sinned.
All right, it's 31 then.
Did you did it too? That's hilarious. Okay,
Yeah,
so
last
I
time.
didn't know. I wasn't busting your chops. I was proud of you for saying 26. People say 26, but I only have 21 or whatever. Whatever, who cares? But the point is, so I say when you've sponsored 10 or more, like, well, do they have to be active? I didn't ask if they were active. I said, have you sponsored 10 or more? And people are so funny, and it's just funny. But so if you sponsor 10 or more, you could come in May to our Scottsdale event. That is only going to be about 20% of the agents. 80% of the agents have not done that, which means if they can't qualify to be there in May in Scottsdale, that means they got next August is the first thing they could go to. So for you guys who have sponsored none or 1 or 2, and you're just not going to make it, if you can afford it, or if it's a stretch, you should still go to Orlando and meet agents who are killing it, who they put up on that stage, and go, hey, can I meet you for breakfast? Can I buy you, breakfast? Go get some oatmeal and scrambled eggs and bacon. It won't break your bank. And if that will break your bank, can I buy you a cup of coffee tomorrow morning? Or would you be willing to spend 10 minutes with me? You don't even have to buy them coffee. But I remember being in places where it was a big deal for me to buy someone lunch or whatever throughout my career when I was just tapped. And so the point is, you can make Orlando what you want to make it. So for those of you that aren't going to have 10 or more sponsored by May, now if you've got 3, 4, 5 sponsored now, you should just book your ticket for May. You'll sponsor the last 4 or 5 between now and May. Just be positive. I mean, nothing would stop me from being there. They'd be with, 300, 400 of the superstars at EXP, highest level mastermind. Most of our events, in fact, all of our events, anybody can go to them. Anyone can go to all the events Dan just named. But what anyone can't go to is that Scottsdale mastermind with people who sponsored a minimum of 10. There'll be people who sponsored 20, people like Dan who sponsored 33, people who have sponsored over 40, like Curtis Johnson, and 50, like Jay Kender, and Cliff Freeman will be there, and the biggest stars in the business are going to be there. So you should definitely strive to be there. So, but Dan, for you, you're on the East Coast. you could show up to shareholders with like 5 guests, you know, and the bounce you get off that, you ain't bringing those guests in May. Guests aren't invited in May to Scottsdale. You have to sponsor 10. That means the next time you get to bring guests to an EXP event would be Dallas. And it's hard to get guests all the way to Dallas. Now, Tony Robbins is going to be there. And, you know, I plan on having a boatload of guests, but it is trickier. So if you're on the East Coast, what an opportunity to bring 7 or 17 or 47. Don't let me limit you. The only glass ceiling there is the one you put over your head. You know, maybe you show up as shareholders with 30 guests, Dan, and shift gears and say, you know, I'm either going to do this thing or I'm not. And so if you can afford it, you should be there. It's a huge bounce. The bounce we got off Mexico was huge. The bounce you will get off, I'm going to shareholders. I've never missed anything. And I went to stuff when it was tight and this and that, you know. So now again, if you cannot afford it and you're just not there yet, then don't go, especially the West Coast people. But if you're on the East Coast or the Midwest and you can afford it or it's a little tight, you should go and bring people. Just think, and I'll limit this, Dan, as a long answer to a short question. Just think if Sheila Fairjohn wasn't going to the EXP Con 3 years and 4 months ago, I doubt she would have invited me. Dan, if you're not going to go to the shareholders, would you invite people to shareholders? Would you honestly answer that question? I'm not picking on you. I'm just trying to teach everybody in the room. Would you invite people to shareholders if you weren't going? Yes or no?
No.
There you go. That's the key. So there'll be zero bounce for you, Dan. I'm going from Sacramento and I'm going to have guests with me. I will have guests there. I don't know who they are, but because I'm going. So Sheila shares the webinar with me 1 week before EXPCon, and her and Rob are going. They go, hey, you should come meet us. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to introduce you to the president of the company, the CEO. And you guys, well, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You grab them and you walk them up to Glenn Sanford and you take a stupid selfie, or Jason or whoever. Yes, you can. And then you say, I'm gonna get you into some high level breakfast meetings, lunch, dinners, and that could be with Michael, Kevin Cooper, or Joey Satriano. It doesn't have to be Jason Guessing and Glenn Sanford. When I got to go hang out with Pat Hayes before he was a big deal, that was important to me. He had like 100 people in his group. I'm like, wow. Like, so I don't know if that makes sense, but you could get a coffee with the Cliff Freeman. He has 3,000 people in his group. You could get a coffee with Rosie Rodriguez. Maybe you brought a guest. She's a woman. Rosie's hitting 1,000 this week. She will say yes to you. And she's going to be there. Will Rosie be there? Of course. Everybody who's serious is going to be there. We would not miss it. And I'm not saying you're not serious. I love your question, Dan. And so my advice to you, if your future's rev share and stock, don't miss shareholders ever. Don't miss EXPCon ever. Next year in February, we'll go to Puerto Rico. Be there. In May, we do the leadership mastermind. You have to sponsor at least 10. Be there. You think, well, that's like 4 or 5 events a year. Yep. And I go to all of them, and now I have 7,000. I don't miss. I always bring guests. I always bring new agents. I cannot tell you how many people. I was in Mexico talking to Melanie Russell in Santa Cruz. She's sold $25 million worth of real estate the last 2 years in a row. And she's built an EXP group, a decent little group, sponsored 2025. I think she has 80 people in her group, maybe 100. She is, oh my gosh, I finally got it. It clicked. It clicked. In Mexico, she goes, all I want to do is sponsor agents who are influencers and sponsor people who scare me. And all I want to do is rev share. Before, she was both. She got it. I couldn't give that to her, but Mexico did. These big events do the heavy lifting. You want to grow? Go to these events and bring people and will it to happen. Quit messing around and get serious. So, Dan, thank you. I love you for that question. I got time for one final question. If anybody wants to ask it here. Anybody have a final question? Or are we good here?
Hey,
Um,
boss.
Drew,
Hey,
go
boss.
ahead.
Can you give him the heads up on homework and the golden meeting?
Yeah. So, and you weren't there. I was saying, don't call me boss in the group meeting. So I know you like to do it, but just call me Brent. It's fine.
Sorry, Brent.
It's okay. Drew works for me. He's my marketing director. He likes to call me boss, and I let him do it. It doesn't bother me. But in a group setting, I don't want to do that. Okay, so Drew, the homework assignment is I tell them I want you to watch this Rob Flick video for 30 minutes. Can teach you how to do this. Actually, get them into that. I'll say, hey, I want to give you a homework assignment. I want you to do a beta test and talk to your best buddy in real estate. Just sit down with them. Don't tell them a picture's worth 1,000 words. Press play, watch the modelexplain.com. Recruit through people, not to people. And so you got to mute your mic, Drew. It's feedback, it's echo. Someone's got their mic on.
Got it.
Okay, thanks. So the bottom line is I'm launching Newport Beach this Friday. We got to one agent, and then I had her show to agents. She's a 30-year veteran, Barbara. She recruits her daughter, Susie. They recruit other people, Mark. And now they have 6 agents, and they all just signed up last week. They have 15 guests coming. So it'll be like 21 of us. And it's not public meeting because the room holds 14. So I couldn't make it a public meeting, literally. I was flying down there for 7 of them, and now they got 15. So the room will get blown out. That's another key. Get small rooms and blow them out. Get small rooms and blow them out. I'll say it again. Get small rooms and blow them out. Do not use restaurants. Do not use restaurants. Do not use restaurants. Find title companies, mortgage companies, find libraries, find places, real estate companies, Regis, spaces, find rooms, catering places that are like defined, and then tell the staff if you are to, because some catering places have professional meeting rooms. Say the staff, do not service the group during the meeting. It's distracting. Just at the beginning and at the end when it's over. No pouring coffee during the meeting. No picking up plates or anything. But so Drew, did I answer the question? Or I didn't quite hear you because it threw me off when you jumped on.
Yeah, Brent, you did completely, and I was going to tell him you to touch on the golden meeting as well.
What's the golden meeting? I'm forgetting right
Your
now.
golden meeting: never leave a meeting without another meeting scheduled.
Okay, the magic move. I call that the
magic move. My bad.
Golden meeting threw me off. I'm like, tell me what the golden meeting is. The magic move. Never leave them without your next appointment booked. Hey, let's circle back this Friday. Instead of trying to chase each other down, can you meet Friday afternoon or Friday morning? Yeah, Friday afternoon, great, 3-4 o'clock. Just a 5-minute call. On that call, put your sponsor, put your sponsor, put me. Joanna's in the back. Joanna, do not go to that call without Kevin Cooper. Or, hey, I want you to meet Joey. And then you prep them, and then we help you. Because otherwise, when I was a team leader at Keller Williams, I did a lot of coffees at Starbucks. Pour my hearts out, wouldn't sponsor anybody. When I started getting them to events and stuff that was happening and introducing other people, I sponsored 177 people. So meetings are the magic, and book a meeting from a meeting and bring people with you, get other people on the call. And like I've had Chuck Keller on a bunch of calls lately. He's not even in my group. Chuck Keller sponsored 35 people. He has 800 people in his group. He lives in Beverly Hills. I've been getting Chuck on the call. Well, you're special. No, I'm not special. I ask. I have a gift in begging. You guys I don't want to beg. I got this. I can do it myself. How's that working for you? Terrible. Okay, stop. I know it's working terrible for you. Humble people love to help people. It's not a source of being needy. I'm not talking about being needy. I'm talking about, hey, how can I help you? If there's someone I can talk to, I'll help you back. And then when you get them on the phone, make it 5, 10, 15 minutes. But, you got Jay Nelson in Nashville. You got Pat Hayes in Texas. You got Mitch Ryback, Ryback out in Florida. You got Dan in I think Dan's in Atlanta, Georgia. On this, you sponsored 33. You got people that'll help you, and don't be a whiny. Don't be like, well, my sponsor. No, take some self-government, some what's the word, responsibility. And nobody's going to make this happen for you but you. So you got to grab the bull by the horns and make this thing happy. Stop complaining, stop whining. I'm not saying you guys are preaching the choir, but and go make it happen. It is your responsibility to help you. We'll get in there and help you too. But if you're not where you want to be, go to the closest mirror and look at that mirror. It's not me. It's not Cliff Freeman. It's not Jay Kender. It's not Pat Hayes. It's not Glenn Sanford. It's not Jason. It is you. And it's an internal victory. I'll end with this. The battle's within. The victory is within. It's between those 2 ears. It's that 6 inches right there in your head. And then when you can take the 12-inch drop to your heart and start talking to people from your heart with on this authenticity, realizing some people will reject you, some people say no. Just don't take it personally. Just move on. Be like Tom Cruise. Get back up in the jet. Get Maverick. Get it back up. Get it back up. Get back on the horse. Get back on the horse. And so that's what this thing is. It's about, getting back on the horse and swinging the bat, swinging. That's why tennis players will hit 5,000 shots a week. That's why golfers will hit 200 chips every morning and then 300 irons and then, 80, drivers and then 400 putts. And it's doing it because you guys look at me like, well, it's second nature to you. It's because I've done it a lot. I was great at open houses because I did it a lot. I was great at hiring agents because I hired 47. I worked and fought and scratched and bowled and did it until I became great at it. 10,000 hours of mastery, and so quit taking it so personal and get on with your life. I love you guys. I want you to prosper and do well. Anyways, I went a little over here. Drew, thanks for that final question. I'm going to go make myself a cup of green tea. Sorry for the scratchy voice. I really feel great. I appreciate your prayers. I'm doing good. I'm working from home today, just going to take it easy. So I hope you guys, I see all your text messages. You guys are so sweet. Love you all. Look at that. You guys are the best. So we'll see you right here next Monday. My voice will be healed. I'll actually have a guest. I had a little miscommunication this weekend. I've been at Grant Cardone for 5 days in Las Vegas. It was amazing. And I really did meet the social media genius, the best one I've ever heard, ever, times 10, ever. It was crazy. We'll talk about that another day. Love you all. Have a good day. See ya. Bye.